Hello again. It's us. I'm so sorry. Welcome back. It's Chalice, Twilight Roads on the initiative order. I don't know why I'm speaking like some form of BBC presenter. I'm going to move rightly on. I will apologise immediately for us being a freckle past a hair late. I say not wearing my watch. We had some tech issues, and as you may notice, we're down a person. It was a very sad day because Max forgot we existed, and we're all very hurt and upset. And I will be crying myself to sleep at night. So, thank you for that, Max. Well, as I say, we are back with this week's episode of Chalice, back with the lovely Holly, Billy, and CJ to see exactly what type of mess they can get themselves into. So we will run through, say hello to everyone, and then jump back into the game. And we will start with the person directly beneath me on the cameras I'm looking at, which is Billy.
Oh, hello. I am Billy, as was previously mentioned. I play Subil in our amazingly horrible campaign, and I hope I survive. That is all. Hello, goodbye.
We all live in hope.
Mm-hmm.
Some more so than others. And next, apparently exactly 1 year post the last death of the last character, we have Holly.
Hello. We can thank Paramore for me for me to remember that it's been a year. That sentence made no sense, but that's what you get. So my name's Holly. I play Violet. For some reason, I decided that I had to press the red button last session. See what happens this week. It'd be really fun if I die again today as well. I'd find it hilarious, actually.
I mean, maybe. Let's hope that doesn't happen, eh? Hope. We all live. As I say, we all live in hope. Let's see how much hope CJ lives in.
Hello. Eternally more than I should. I'm CJ. I play Kylan. I'm super excited to be here. I think "wouldn't it be funny if I died" is one of those sentences that is not exclusive to TTRPG, but more common there than anywhere else. And I'm not going to say it because I kind of like Kylan. I'd like to maybe play them for a little bit longer. So wouldn't it be funny if I didn't die? Maybe?
I don't know about that.
It'd be hilarious. It'd be so cool.
No, I don't think I can promise that one. I'm sorry.
I came in knowing what I was getting into.
This much is true. You have no one to blame but yourself and me, and I'm going to say Max because he can't defend himself. And exactly, it's wonderful. I love when people don't make it. I can pin so much on them. And as per usual, I am Ben. I am here running game and being everyone else they meet and puppeteering things behind the screen. I am tonight's ignoble isolator, inciting irritating iconoclasts, mostly in the form of Holly, apparently taking up a new anarchist streak.
Oh, yes. I got confused there for a second. Like, what have I done?
Would you like me to say what the word iconoclast means?
I'm in the break, because, yeah.
Yeah.
you threw words around I've never heard before.
A destroyer of symbols, basically. Anarchy. All the good shit. And
that sounds like
our very small random word lesson, we're going to go straight into our intro, so I can think of better things to say than the sentence I just did. I was just curious how long I could hold that face and annoy Danny in the background. It worked. He's getting really pissed off there. It's wonderful. I'm having a great time. Hi again. Thank you for sticking through the intro for us, and welcome back. And you, Danny, and you. So, before we do what we normally do, I'm just going to try something a little bit new and do a quick rundown again of where we are. So, for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. In the same phrase I've never used to anyone here, welcome to Chalice, rather than you're just stuck here now. Chalice is a wonderful, wonderful, happy place where everyone's leading exactly the lives they want to, and no one is crushed under the oppressive heel of capitalism, industry, religious zealotry, and science over the need of the masses. It is not any of those things. At the moment, we find our happy little party in the grand city of Dis, the capital of Ignis, one of the largest provinces in Chalice. A city built on industry, on creation, on tearing down the old and replacing it with the new and shiny. Normally every couple of years. It is a city in constant flux and devouring itself in the intent of improving itself. Even walking through the city streets, you can see buildings on top of buildings. Their architects are changing with every few meters, every few steps leading into a whole new world. And that is where our party find themselves now. Before we dive into exactly what happened last week, I am going to very quickly ask, for the first time ever, beyond the first introductions, for a very, very quick introduction of who your character is, and just a quick rundown of what they may look like, just to, give some visual aids for those of us who have never seen before. So we'll start with what I imagine to currently be the very angry, hyperactive person standing on a table and screaming at the masses of protesters around them. Holly, please tell us a little bit about Violet.
Yeah, so I've had a complete blank about what Violet looks like, even though I literally made her on Sims the other day because I was already bored. I remember now. So Violet is like a 19-year-old, carries a violin. Musicians are very hyperactive people. She's got like red hair that probably down to like just past her shoulders. It's currently like tied up in like a ponytail. Why am I forgetting words? Green shirt, kind of olive. Basically, picture Merida from Disney, but a bit more tomboyish and not wearing a dress, because I realised after seeing a live Disney princess show the other week that I made Merida, just not Scottish. There we go, said it. But yeah, currently covered in like a lot of dirt because protesting, and yeah, angry and hyperactive, and is swearing like a sailor.
We love to hear it. And I won't lie, Holly, the idea of you going to actively watch a Disney princess show both shocks and amazes me.
It wasn't active, I was forced.
I won't hear that lie. Let's jump across to CJ and Kylan.
Yeah, so Kylan's a little bit further back still, but I think they were making their way toward the door that Violet had effectively cleared for them. Kylan is tall side of average, androgynous, but on the more effeminate side of androgyny. Long, dark hair, pulled kind of loose, but pulled to the side. And they've got sort of sharpish features. It's sort of on that border where you're like, is this the way I think I described them the first time they came in, is this sort of that border between, are they attractive or alarming? And I think that's kind of the niche that Kylan fills. Is this person attractive or alarming? So yeah, in sort of your basic, I mean, they work for a smuggling ring, so they're sort of in your basic. They've got breeches, they've got probably like a vest type thing with a jacket over it, and I don't remember specifically if I had detailed anything else, but it's very much your muted tones, maybe even dark black, sort of fade into the background if necessary sort of attire, and that's Kylan. So
Perfect. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Subil.
Sybil is actually still kind of getting used to his appearance, as it's fairly fresh. He is not tall but not short, very average. A lot of things about Sybil is aggressively average, on purpose. His very much intention is to blend in as much as he possibly can. That being said, over the last 2 months, he's had a little bit of a rough time. Now he's pretty much all skin and bones, as my mum would definitely say. You can almost see all of the joints and the veins, the bones under his very tight skin at this point. He hasn't really eaten much, and other things have definitely gone on. He looks very much pale when he's not covered in dirt and grime, which is very rare. That being said, he's got fairly long dark brown hair, no projection, I promise. He has a little bit of a growing beard. He doesn't really have much time to shave, and underneath that beard you can often see some glints of dark black, maybe obsidian-like reflective material, places framing his face, though you do have to get awfully close to see that, and he doesn't tend to let anyone get awfully close physically or emotionally. So that's, I'd say, what Sybil is looking like at the current time.
Thank you very much. And now we all know our wonderful cast, both emotionally and physically. We jump straight back in. We return to this, to the small open courtyard of the Blackstreet Coopers, where what was, moments before, a relatively peaceful protest has broken out in a sudden bout of energetic violence. Men and women from across the city, sick and tired of the way that the world around them works, have been striking up arms, screaming new chants, and pledging themselves to new leaders, to the Steel Queen, as their many banners are announcing. Our party, Kylan, Violet, Sybil, Jules, and of course Sam, came across them maybe 20 minutes ago, and even that may be being generous on the timescale, as they found themselves on the wrong side of the protest, heading into the Backstreet Coopers to try and meet with some of their own contacts. One thing leads to another, and Violet decides to nurture a singular streak in herself that leads clearly to anarchy, driving the protesting crowd into a fever pitch, which led to them tearing down the iron-wrought gates, besieging the building and beginning to destroy both their workshop that lies to the right-hand side of the building, and just smashing apart the barrels, tools, small cranes, and other services that make up the courtyard of the Coopers. Both Sybil and Jules slip into the front door while Kylan holds back and gets ready to, from what I understand, rescue their erstwhile companion from the mob and try and spirit them away in a quieter manner than one would normally anticipate. It's as Sybil and Jules break through the front door and find themselves in the small front office, a chair, a small desk running along the opening portion of it, leading to a door behind it into the larger building itself. The table still stands, but papers and the candlestick that lay upon it have been knocked over, damaged, destroyed. There is a heavy floral scent on the air. And as Sybil leans over the counter to try and find someone within, all he comes across is the emaciated remains. Woman lying on the floor, a small pulpy white mass of mycelium penetrating through their skin, through their eyes, nose, mouth, and growing into a singular, bright, purple poppy. And as he leans over the counter to look at it, the flower twitches, raising its head as if to meet the sun for the first time, as the central portion of the poppy locks eyes with Subil. And it's with Subil that we start.
Subil is not having a good time right now. I think as Subil locks eyes with this creepy flower, he's rather confused. He's starting to back away very slowly, pulling Jules with him as he does so. Just saying,
what is it? It's just a flower.
Don't touch it. Don't look at it. Don't smell it. Don't listen to it. Don't do.
Oh, it's freaking you out that much? I'll just stamp on it. Then she slaps your hand off of you and goes to walk around.
Sybil's just gonna shout. It's a creepy monster. Don't touch it. Don't you dare. And he's gonna reach first for Jules, but not grab her, but more try and step in her way before she gets too close or goes around the bar area.
She kind of stops in reaction to your very sudden outburst, seeing you actively reaching for someone. Even stopping at the last moment is an unusual thing to witness from you at the very least. So she kind of pauses. Are you alright, huh? It's only a flower.
It's not. Don't you see the Jules?
It's a weird pot. It's a very weird pot. But people are fucking creepy.
People are fucking creepy? There's a pile of something on the floor and a weird poppy. What makes you... Look, I'm not going to question it. Just please
rocks
trust me.
Back and forth a little bit, and as she does, you realize still poking out the hem of her skirts is a large open bottle of whiskey. The scent of it does carry on her breath so heavily.
Okay. There's just... okay, Jules, you have to listen to me, okay? That is a creepy flower. We've seen lots of creepy stuff. The entire time, Sybil's looking around trying to gauge the situation, because he knows that is not the only creepy flower about, or the creepy thing about. Jules, please, just follow me. We're gonna go and find something, but just, you need to trust me, okay? It's not a normal flower. It's a creepy flower.
But it's growing out of a dead guy. Of course it's not normal.
Yeah, so please, just back away from it, please. Please. It's not nice.
She just kind of takes the bottle out of her pocket. Well, okay.
Okay. You keep drinking that.
Oh, I will. I don't need your permission to drink. You're not my daddy. And she just kind of walks past you back towards the door. As she goes towards it, you can already hear the rioting, shouting outside, being slightly encouraged on. Holly, could I just ask you very quickly for your most encouraging words to this wonderful mob you've incited?
I think it's going to be the same as last week, which is literally just her Violet's keep on shouting for the Queen, because I think at this point she's just using this as an outlet to shout. If you keep shouting something that they'll know, then it's fine.
And it's definitely working. You can hear Violet's voice carrying first and then being followed by at least 24 more every single time she bellows the chant. It becomes very aware that those shouts are very close to the front door. In your line of work, you've seen riots before. You know that they do tend to just follow their own momentum after a while, and locked doors tend to be a bit like a red flag to a bull.
There's not really much of a choice.
Why did we let them in? They can trample the flower.
Okay, Jules, listen to me. The flower... How do I put this? The flower is a wiggly thing. If you touch the wiggly thing, it wiggles into you. And the wiggly thing takes over you, and you become a wiggly thing. And wiggly things aren't nice. They're really not nice. I've seen it. It's...
Well, I don't
become a
like to be
wiggly
wiggled
thing.
into.
It's
Not without it till
pleasant.
I have my dinner first, anyway.
And think about this, Drunken Jules. No one wants to be a wiggly thing, so we should stop everyone being a wiggly thing, yeah? So let's close the doors, and we'll think of something after that. But you need to trust me. No wiggly things. Please. Please.
You can see she chews over one phrase there, which is trust you. You can almost see her eyes flick up and feel her replaying the last couple of days in her head, still kind of just gently swaying back and forth as she goes. Can anyone, I don't care who, flip me a card for Jules' scrutiny check? Which I'm going to assume is a +3, but who knows?
Do you want me to grab that? I've got it up. Okay. We've got... Jeez Louise, she's got 12 of my... Nope. What's it?
12 and nope.
And what is...
I'll take 12 of note. 12 of
Yeah,
note.
it's a 12
is fine.
of nope.
Please declare any issues with reading the cards directly at Lynn as she withdrew them all.
It's beautiful.
And they are beautiful.
I've
They are
double checked it.
gorgeous.
I can confirm it's a 12 of masks.
Masks.
very much.
Thank you. Oh, okay, I can see it now. It's me today, Joss. It's me. They're beautiful.
She kind of continues her rocking, leans against the wall, and switches hands just to. Well, okay. You better do something about it then.
I will. And think about this. It's going to be more fun keeping them out than letting them in. No?
I ain't doing much of that thinking at the moment, huh?
Good point. And Sybil's just going to turn and he's going to run towards the open doors. Try and get a glimpse of what's going on outside. And just as he's doing so, start shutting them. Red Bull or not, we can't let them in. Red Bull? Okay.
Kylan is near the...
Mm-hmm.
Kylan's near the door and is watching Violet. So round about this time is probably when Kylan would make their move.
So outside, Kylan, from your perspective, stood as you are kind of near the back of the crowd, close enough so you can see the front door, see Violet, just be able to constantly remain appraised of the situation. The crowd is very, 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 very focused on simply reducing as much real estate as they can into as many splinters as they can. Normally, you would hope that this type of thing would, slowly die off and become a more retreating aspect, as potentially the Protectorate would be called, or, repercussions may be had. Unfortunately, you have vastly underestimated exactly how much further Violet was going to take this task with. She seems to really be working through some stuff, and even next to her, on the floor, next to the table that Violet has taken as her kind of makeshift stage, you can see Sam, stood next to her, kind of looking up in awe, and anytime something heavy lands nearby, like a brick or anything, they pick it up and hurl it alongside the rest of the crew, cheering.
Point of
Yep.
order is he not still invisible?
Oh, no, he's dropped his invisibility quite a while
Little
ago.
turd.
It seems that, again, he's just kind of gotten caught up in everything. You watch as another shout of, "For the Queen!" comes up, and you watch him kind of pick up a little rock and go, "For the Queen!" Turns around and just bolts it through a nearby window. on, on the inside, just for your note, very, very quickly, Sybil, the room next to you, you hear a window shatter.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah, that's roughly what you see, Kylan.
The
What
song
you do with
playing
that?
right now is suffering.
Okay, the very first thing Kylan is trying to do, which they imagine will be fruitless and will not waste a lot of time doing, is to get either Sam or Violet's attention over by the door, just like waving violently, like over here, and just seeing if that catches any. They're like, this probably isn't going to work, but I am going to try. And they're
Okay.
especially hoping that, you know, they don't have to extract them both. To be completely explicit.
That's fair. Okay, in which case I will start by saying, if everyone hasn't already done so, please draw your free cards. And then, Kylan, can you make me a... Bewitch seems the only thing I can think of to accurately work here, so we're going to go with Bewitch.
Sure.
Get an extra card on this one, as both of them know to kind of be looking out for everyone else. So get a bonus on this one, and we're going to look for a 9 to get one of their attentions, a 14 to get both.
Okay, I've got... So I flipped once. Okay, so my highest is a 13. So just under both, but at least I've got one.
Who would you like to gain out of? Either Sam or Violet?
Sam, again, because Kylan thinks maybe Sam has more innate abilities to extract himself. So Kylan's like,
just kind of drops the next rock he was planning on hocking and goes, pointing to the building and then towards you, and just closes his eyes and disappears. There is
peek behind me to see if he appears in the building.
There's a couple of moments, and then you feel the way the air is kind of moving at the moment with everything being broken. There's a lot of dust moving, and you kind of look down and you see some footprints just rapidly move past you.
Okay. With that handled, glad that that's handled, and seeing that very clearly they're not going to get Violet's attention, I'm going to flip a card. Oh, nope, that's Rams. I'm going to use... I'm very happy that this came up. I'm going to use one of my cheat cards, my 12 of masks, to get a total of... a total of overkill, 15.
Yep.
And Kylan's gonna close their eyes and take a deep breath, and then look at Violet and focus on teleporting them into the building. Teleporting her into the building.
It's just...
Should hit with it, because it's my TN, I think, is a 10 masks, so...
That'd be fine. Just to check, it's just Violet? It doesn't move you as well?
Nope, it is a target within range of the spell, which is 10 yards.
Wonderful.
Is teleported to a safe place in range.
Awesome. You focus your attention on Violet, and there is again this deep chill that starts to settle in the air around you. You kind of feel the small weeds and plants that are poking their way out of the cobblestones beneath you just die off as you leech the energy from them, as all channelers do with all magic ever. And kind of look to Violet, close your eyes, and then look to the door leading in to the building itself. Halfway through her next sentence, there is just a vanishing snap and a brief burst of cold air from the top of the stage, the lack of a better word. Some of the wood quite literally frosts over instantly, and Violet just vanishes. Inside the building, you're stood kind of at the door, Subil, watching out when the door pushes open slightly and you just hear the very light pitter-patter of feet running along the side. You kind of track that back for a moment as there's a sickening pop, and the air around you very quickly bursts in a kind of freezing haze. And Violet just appears in front of you, bellowing the words, "The Queen!" right in your face.
Immediately, Kylan will come in and start trying to bar the door.
I've gone from being very angry and like riled up to being like, wait, what the fuck? How did I? Okay.
Over their shoulder, Kylan's gonna go, Sam, that was you, right? I mean, you're here?
There's a very, very, very slight whisper of, "Yeah?"
Okay. You can stay invisible if you like, but I think you're okay. It's just kind of like looking for a chair or something to push up against the door at this point.
Okay. And there's a snap as, again, same thing happens as this brief chill change. It holds for a little bit longer than you'd be more attuned to this than anyone else in the room, Kylan. Normally, channeling is a fairly quick, instant change. The air alters for maybe half a second. When Sam reappears, the frost settles and crystallizes over some of the surfaces before the room starts to just naturally heat it back up again and cause small puddles to start appearing. It's just unusual. Immediately as you start to look for something to bar the door with, you realize that the interior of the door is actually preemptively built for just this type of thing. There are heavy steel borders that run along the side of it, followed by no less than 3 individual drop bars to put into place, and a series of locks. They're almost distinctly like the idea of whomever owns this building doesn't like the idea of anyone they don't want in it getting in it.
It's just gonna start dropping those bars. Is looking at the door. Nobody else. Just the door.
You slam everything down, the repeated clunk, 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 as you lock everything, get everything in place. And you're all then just kind of stood in this not overly large room. As I say, the desk behind you, the knocked over chair behind that, and if you're looking at the door, your far left. If you're looking into the room, your far right. Another door that leads off into the building proper. And again, this just very sweet floral scent on the air.
Everyone all right? Just kind of looking over. Subil, Jules, Violet, Sam.
I would like to ask why I've been put back in. I was perfectly fine outside. I was happy. I was doing great. I was distracting. And
you were
now
doing great.
I would like to. Can I go back out? I was doing great.
No. Let's huddle, quick, please.
Why are we huddling? Like I don't.
Everyone into a kind of little
Okay.
huddle, and then as he gets close, he's just going to actually realise that he's getting too close, and then take another little step back. Okay, right.
As long as we're not doing the whole like hands in and arms up at the end, then like honestly.
There's no team spirit here. We're all just fighting for survival. Let's accept that already. Okay, you were doing great, Violet. Nice job. Proud of you. You really got into that. But
Impressive, actually.
Yeah, I was. I was letting go of some steam. Honestly, it's. Yeah.
Be a good revolutionary. I know some people.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
That was fucking fantastic.
I'll look down at Sam. I'll just look down at Sam quickly, going like, "You didn't get hurt, did you, Sam?"
No. He looks really pumped up.
He was holding his own.
Do you remember those words I taught you? Don't.
Fuck.
No, Sam. I told you not to use them around the others.
Violet, what are you teaching?
Kylan just cackles, not like.
I never said I was going to be a good big sister. I just said I'll be a sister.
Okay.
Honestly.
Subil.
Yes.
I broke a window.
I'd heard that. I'm proud. Okay, I'm proud of you, Sam. And he's gonna look at Sam. Nice job. Okay, right. And he's gonna look at everyone else. Go, we have bigger issues. Big issues. Right. How do I put this? We're in danger. Lots of danger.
We're always in danger.
We're very much
I mean,
always in danger.
you guys did burn down a city, so...
Well,
Oh, that was you.
I didn't. No, we didn't. The fire spread. It's a very different situation.
I don't
And
know
I'm
why
pretty sure I
defending
lost
myself.
friends in that fire, so just.
Yeah, well, so did I.
We're in danger, everybody, please.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there's a thing. A thing is here. Okay,
A thing is here.
a thing is here. Look. It's fuzzy. It was a long time ago, but there's this creepy plant thing. It's like the other things that we've seen, but it's a different thing, and it's here. Okay, look, just we need to stop anyone from getting in, anyone at all. And if you see a poppy, a vine, a plant of any kind, do not touch it. Don't let anyone touch it. If it touches you, cut it off. Whatever it is. I mean a limb, I mean an arm, I mean anything. If it touches you, that's it. Okay? I am deadly serious right now. Okay?
Can I ask why we're scared of the flowers? I mean, they're just harmless flowers.
Violet,
Got-
there
you
are
got
many
real
things
weird
that
about
we're
the
scared of.
flowers.
Very many things that we're scared of that seem very unassuming. And you've been with us long enough. 2 days? 2 days. 2 days longer. So you should now realize anything can be weird. And it's a weird flower. Right?
I mean, that's not what's going through my head, but to save argument, sure.
I know, just please don't let anything in that can touch the thing. And whatever you do not touch the thing. And you'll see it, and it'll be really like, oh, I should touch the thing. You should not touch the thing. If you touch the thing, I can't help you. No one can. Just, it happened a long time ago with some people that I knew. It was like months ago, but in my brain it was a lot longer, and it's fuzzy. But just please, you have to trust me. I think we're in a lot of danger. Now we've locked the door, but Sam shattered some windows somewhere. That means that there's open windows. These guys seem to want to lock a lot of things, so they've definitely got window shutters. We need to get everything closed on the bottom floor, and then we need to figure out what the hell is going on. But right now, we cannot risk anyone getting in. Does that make sense, everybody? And he's going to make eye contact with everyone, including Sam, and do a little nod. Yeah? Please?
Heard. Yeah. I'm gonna go take care of the window Sam broke then.
I mean, trust is a strong word, but sure, I'll help, I guess.
You don't need to trust me. You just need to trust that there is plenty of danger around, and then you can ask as many questions as you want. But right now...
I'm holding you to that.
Oh god, I shouldn't.
And then I'll go off and start also doing the window, like trying to close some windows up and stuff.
And avoiding any natural-looking things at the moment. Kylan has a few points of order, but the first one is keep people out, because that's what Subil said, and if someone says something is weird and dangerous, Kylan's like, I believe that, yeah. So, yeah, the one that's broken, they're going to see if there's shutters or something, and if not, they're going to just try and block off that whole room.
Okay. First, before any particular thing else, I do just have one quick question to ask Violet, which is, what is Violet's intellect?
Oh, God. Violet's intellect is very impressive. -2.
Okay.
She is not the smartest cookie in the jar. Neither am I, so it's fine.
In which case, I'm going to ask you to make a notice check for me then, please.
Okay.
It's going to be a difficulty of 10.
Okay. Please draw a card. Well, I drew a 5, and with my modifier of 0, that is a 5. I could cheat, but you know what? Let's go with it.
Okay, you're
Because
sure
honestly,
it's nothing.
yeah, no, none of my cars would get me there anyway. Well, maybe one, but I'll save that.
You have a moment of just something in the back of your mind kind of coming to the fore, and you dismiss the thought. It's probably nothing.
It's nothing.
Kylan, there's a window directly next to you. There's the door you came in through and a window to your left. There is a set of shutters there that can be closed and locked. The door on the far side of the room, however, is what leads into the rest of the building proper. I'm loving how I'm gesturing. I'm just losing the art of doing so. I'm not going to stop doing it, though, apparently.
We got the general direction by
yeah,
which way the
that
shield
way.
works.
Yeah. It's completely up to you. You can start with this one here or just go straight off, because the room you know has the broken window in will be through that door.
I think, realistically, they're probably going to go straight into that room, but on the way, are going to just point and be like, someone take care of these at the other shutters.
You gesture, open up the door, and go to step forward, immediately stopping.
What's there?
In front of you is a plain wooden floor that leads onto a stone or a brick wall. To the right-hand side, there is a large shattered window. You can hear the shouts of the crowd outside in and smell the fresh air. However, running along the floor and the wall itself, you can see creeping lines of white mycelium.
Bro. Okay.
Casting your eyes just to the left briefly, you see that this floor descends immediately to your left into a ladder that stretches down into a deep warehouse. A gantryway runs along the external edge of that building as well. And in just looking, you see the first thought that comes to your mind is a botanical garden. The room has been overrun by flora. The walls are covered in patches of heavy mycelium and roots and vines, reaching into grand, great purple flowers and small purple poppies that spring up in small instances across the entirety of the building. The upper gantryway, all of these flowers run along the edges of the wall. They creep up towards lights and towards windows. There's a large skylight in the very center of the warehouse, and you can see them very cautiously clambering up towards it. It then drops down into the warehouse floor and covers even more of it. Below the ground, what would have once been wood paneling, you remember it been here. What would have once been just wood flooring has just been overrun by, again, this creeping carpet of white and green and purple. Which is when you start to identify the corpses. Dozens of bodies lie littered throughout the warehouse. Many of them hoisted up slightly into the air by these creeping vines that drop from the ceiling, wrap around them, and then just hold them in the air like some distended swing. Their bodies just slowly rocking from side to side. The roots have penetrated through their skin, drug through their eyes and their ear sockets, and their mouths hold open in rictus laughter, as you can see in some cases, even poppies growing from their throat out of their mouth and extending out towards the light above them.
Well, okay. Yeah, obviously Kylan stops immediately and it's just like, and just shuts the door again. And to quote me earlier, nope. I think, yeah, Kylan turns around, is like, okay, and is gonna look for, first thing, like a chair to bar that door, because presumably there aren't It's an inside door, so
There is no direct way of blocking that. So you go back around the small desk to grab the chair, which is when you see the body mimicking the others just lying there. You realize now that it's actually positioned upwards slightly, as if sitting. The mycelium roots have dug up through the floorboards, dug into the back of this woman, and as you get close, the flower twists to face you.
Kylan makes that noise, and is just gonna try to, like, as far away as possible from this woman, like, reach for the chair and try to, like, drag it. Like, they're not about this at all. They're like, that flower is staring at me. So they just go, and just try to kind of.
The body doesn't move. It just holds in position. The flower just twists and watches. You realize as you're kind of observing it, and everyone else in the room is, slightly paying attention now. When you do get close, the flower quivers slightly, vibrating in the body, causing the corpse to slightly jerk and shake. It's enough to give you pause before you grab the chair, but it doesn't move any further. It doesn't reach towards you. It just holds there. Also, do me a little notice check of. It's not a hard thing to hear. We'll say 7.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. We'll see if I because I'm apparently a little freaked by that. Oh no, that's a whole 5. That's a 5. Do I want to cheat? I could cheat. Nah. Yeah, I'm gonna sub in my 6 of Rams. That'll put me at a 9.
Perfect. As you kind of get close, you notice 2 things. The first is that there are numerous wounds. Not so much wounds as openings, where the skin seems to have shriveled to the point where it's just been peeled apart. There's no tear, there's no violence to it. And where the stomach of this woman should lie, there is nothing. Just an open crevice. That's the first thing you notice. The second is the very soft sound of their lungs still breathing.
Subil, you said you encountered this sort of thing before?
Yeah.
Do you know, where'd her stomach go?
I didn't really stay long enough to find out. I don't know.
Is right. So, fun story. Just a little extra thing. And Kylan is now saying this while they take the chair over to the door that leads on further into the warehouse. Can't go further into the warehouse. It's a garden in there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I think if we can hug the side of the wall, 1 or 2 of us might benefit from going out and boarding it up from the outside.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. A couple of warnings. It doesn't burn. It reaches for you, I think, and it doesn't take much. So, let's all be careful, please.
Oh, who's got the fastest reactions here? Or the most graceful ones, at least. I think 2 of us can probably. I don't think we all need to go out there and risk everything, but I think if we can get a couple boards up there. I don't know who's going to climb through the window when they look in and see it's full of dead bodies, but I wouldn't put anything past them at this point.
Could we lead the mob away somehow, I feel like keeping them out won't work. Violet, do you think maybe you
I could, if you guys are happy with me and give me full permission to do as much as I want if I am now leading this again. As well, obviously, keep them away from here, but like, as long as you guys are cool, I can try to do something.
I would much rather you start a revolution than let a single one of those people in here. Let's put it that way. So
that sentence has now made me like you a little bit more.
Let's just be safe. Don't get caught up in that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get as caught up as you like, but don't get.
Guys.
No.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look over and Jules is kind of leaning on the window. She's half shuttered it and is just looking out. There's a trapdoor.
There's a what?
At that moment, the thought, Holly, that Violet was trying to click into place is that around the front of the building is a rather large trapdoor that leads directly into the basement for the loading and unloading of cargo. As I mentioned earlier, there are some cranes outside.
Mm-hmm.
As Jules is saying that, she then continues, they're breaking it open.
Oh, we need to move them. Like,
I'm gonna
go.
start heading towards like the door and getting back into leader mode.
just starting like to pull up all of the bars. Go, go, go! Like just
Please be careful. Just
please,
run.
please be careful.
Yeah, if anything goes south, I'll head somewhere and I'll meet up with you guys again.
Sam,
Yeah?
go with Violet. Be very, very safe. And if you have to use your magic to get you two out of there. Can you do that?
Yeah. I did it last time too, didn't I, Subil?
You did, and you did it really well. And you're gonna take care of Violet, yeah? But you're gonna be really, really careful. And I mean that. Really careful.
Don't be
Remember,
afraid.
people are looking for all of us, and they're looking for you, okay? And you're gonna be really good at being invisible when you need to be. And you're gonna come back, and you're gonna be really safe, yeah?
I shouldn't go too far, though,
No.
he says, looking straight at Subil.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Just start people getting away from here. And then both of you get back to us as safely and as quickly as you can.
And Sybil's gonna look at Sam and look at Violet and go, look, cities, they're sprawling, they're crazy. Mobs, they act with their own free will. Once you've sent them in direction, their momentum will take them there, okay? You need to lead them in another direction for whatever reason, right? They're here for a reason. They're here to break into these guys' place because they're annoyed at them. We need to find someone they're more annoyed at and lead them towards that. And then you need to peel off and get back here or get somewhere safe and meet us, okay? And Sybil's going to look at Sam and go, I need you to take care of them. Ideally, come and help us, but I need you to take care of them, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And it's as you kind of finish that part and you get the last of the bars out of the way. Violet, are you going through kind of a pre-leadership ritual at all? Hopping in place, slapping yourself in the face, any of that?
I mean, definitely like kind of, not like hopping, but very much like kind of on the, like, the kind of, it's kind of like jumping, like when you go like up and down and like your toes and stuff, kind of like that. Basically, the anger, trying to get the anger that she's been feeling towards everything kind of back into the place that it's kind of been. Yeah, just being like, right, come on, Violet, you've got this. You've done it before. You know what you're doing. You can, kind of all that kind of stuff, and basically trying to get all the doubt out.
Sybil, as Violet's doing that, is going to turn and start hopping with her right from a distance. Go, who's the revolutionary? Come on, who's the revolutionary? Come on, Violet, who is? Who is?
I am.
Who's the revolutionary? Come on.
I am. Yeah, and she'll get like more like riled up. Yeah.
And then when you get really screaming, you'll open the door from one side.
She will just, as long like if she knows she's got like Sam like in her hand and stuff, and still with the.
Oh, Sam's out the door before you are. The moment it's open, he just scampers free and is already screaming, "For the Queen!"
I'm legging it after Sam.
You bolt out. Immediately, you charge into the open courtyard, and you immediately pick up that most of the riot has kind of demolished everything that was within reach. The warehouse to your left, the door has been caved in. The workshop to your left, the door's been caved in. You can see barreling tools scattered across the yard. Many of the rioters have actually picked up tools and are now bringing them to bear on the right-hand side, shattering a crane, breaking open a wagon, and rapidly looting out more tools, where a set of about 5 or 6 of them are currently around this large trapdoor into the basement, peeling that open as best they can. The moment you and Sam charge out roaring, eyes do snap over to you just to work out whatever the fuck is going on. How are you catching these guys' attention? How are you getting them moving?
Obviously I've come out of there full-on screaming. I will literally just try to make as much noise as I can. When I know I've got kind of hopefully enough eyes on me, and I will say that I'm probably flailing around like a madman at this moment in time. Imagine, I'll use me as an example. Imagine a small person on 7 cups of coffees that she's drank in an hour. This is Violet right now, but a lot more angrier. When she's when she thinks she's got enough attention on people, she's going to be like, look, I've had a look. There's nothing worth in there. I found a letter. They've headed, and she'll point down a random road and be like, they've headed that way. We need to go there now if we want our justice for what they've done to us. She'll say it in a very authoritative tone that I cannot do, but it's make believe. So please
get loud. It's fine. Just get loud, Holly.
People are sleeping in my house apparently.
Wake them up.
Revolution. And now she'll full on shout all that and just very much be hopefully be the kind of same that she was 10 minutes ago before she got rudely taken away.
Perfect. Okay. In which case, make me a leadership check. You get 2 cards on this one as you kind of pumped yourself up, you focused before you left the room.
Yeah.
So let's call this one, a little bit of momentum was lost. They've separated onto separate groups. We're going to say 12.
Difficult.
Give me a 12.
Okay. Well, the first card was a 2, which isn't good. My second card was a 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, with my 4, that gets me 11. However, can I cheat?
You can.
Well, it seems. You remember I said earlier I had that 1 card that would let me do the other thing, and I was saving it.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that because that was a 12 plus my 4 on leadership, which is big number. So.
And while we're talking card numbers, before we get into descriptors again, I have a cool ability from my Wasteful Pursuit called Cards Up the Sleeve. I can place a hand from my control hand, a card from my control hand face up if we were in a physical location, set it down, and anyone can discard a card from their control hand to use this card to cheat. So I just wanted to let everybody here know that the available card for you all right now from my abilities is an 11 of crows. So just keep that in mind. If there's a desperate situation that is important and you need it more than I do, just take it.
That is good to know. But I will.
Yeah. But you've got your card right now.
I will cheat and use my 12 to get their attention because she is nothing if not wanting to be the star of attention at all times. We love the musician lifestyle.
You easily grab everyone's attention and drag it to you. First, one voice calls out going, "Let's get after them! Bastards leaving us behind, looting their own fucking land!" Another screams out in agreement. The third picks himself up from the kind of door into the basement. "Fuck them! Let's charge down and fuck up someone else!" And very rapidly the crowd gets up, gets riled, and starts following after you. Are you leading the way? Because that's distinctly what they seem to expect you to do.
I will lead the way, but I'm going to say that before I start to, I'm going to look at Sam and be like, I'm going to lead them away. You stay with the group and I'll find a way to come back to you guys. They're going to need you more than I am.
Okay, I need you to make a convince check on Sam then, because he has orders.
Oh, I don't have convince. That's really annoying.
Convince is intellect, so... -2.
No.
If memory serves.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's Sam.
Yes, Sam.
Not super difficult to convince. We're going to call it a 6.
Call it a 6. Okay, so that was a 12. So 10 in total.
Will you be okay?
I'll be fine. I've been doing this my whole life. If anything goes wrong, I'll find a way to come back to you guys. Stay with them. I'll be back before you know it.
You should play your violin for.
That's the plan, Sam. That's the plan.
Cool.
And when I know he's not going to follow me, I'll start leading these guys off somewhere, literally just somewhere random. And then I'll figure out how to get back later on. I've split the party. I'm sorry, but it worked.
The Sam scampers off back towards the front door as you begin to lead the crowd down the street, heading south deeper into the pits. Everyone in the front of the building can see this as the lot just rapidly starts to clear out. You watch as Violet leads them through the front gates, or what remains of them, and disappear down the street. Sam rapidly reappears, assuming that you may have locked the door behind them as they went.
I think our plan is, if it does start to clear out, to go board up that window from the outside. So we probably haven't locked it.
Absolutely fine. Sam just kind of steps back through the door, looks up at each of you and goes, "She told me to stay."
Well, she's tougher than she looks. She'll be fine. Good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah. You can see his eyes again just falling on Subil. The nervousness he's trying to hide, very easy to discern.
Subil kind of making eye contact, also feeling exactly the same. That kind of gives Sam a little nod. Kind of, she's going to be all right, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Make me a scrutiny check. Difficulty 8.
Okay. Scrutiny would be...
Scrutiny is cunning.
Cunning.
He said, unsure.
I'll take cunning. I'm good at cunning. I'm very cunning. Okay. That's a 5.
The expression is difficult to read. You're not entirely sure what might be going on in his head. Unless you'd like to cheat. Or take this handy dandy 11.
Oh.
Yes, use the 11 to read a child's mind. I'm sure that's a good use of the card.
Subil doesn't know what Sam's thinking, but I think he can kind of guess. He doesn't necessarily need a scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that at least, and I'm going to risk it. Sybil's just going to kneel down in front of Sam, going eye level, and just go, "She's going to be all right, okay? I need you to be brave." And with that, the wall falls in behind Subil as the doors smash open.
Usually me. I'm so glad somebody else.
Well,
I know
as the curtain,
I was just holding out for the break.
as the curtain has quite literally fallen, I'm going to take that as our signal to hop to a wee break. We're going to take 5-10 minutes while Billy sorts his shit out. And we'll see you after the break in a bit. Yay. Hey, look, it's us again. And look, Billy has a curtain. I was really hoping to fall down again then. That just would have been pure.
Nah.
That would have been really funny.
Yeah.
Next time. Next time. Mhm.
So, before we jump back in, we'll do a very quick recap for anyone who may have joined us during the break. We come to find our party in the capital city of Is, capital of Ignis. Our group of Subil, Kylan, Jules, and leading up the rear as they sprint down the streets away, Violet. The four of them have made their way into Blackstreet Coopers, a front for the Black Barrel Boys smuggling gang, looking to try and pick up their own groups, their own contacts, information, and anything of use. What they have unfortunately found, however, is something between a carnal house, or charnel house, and this is very different words, mean two very different things. A charnel house, or something akin to a greenhouse. Bodies lacerated with plant matter used as fuel for propagation line the walls of the internal warehouse. Kylan has been the only one to see anything great, anything grand that lurks deep within, creeping mycelium, pulsating vines, as each and every portion of that plant matter reaches for the sunlight. Thankfully, it's been somewhat hidden away, if not for the actions of a small boy breaking a window leading directly into them. Outside, a large mob has was happily smashing up the lot, destroying, breaking anything to get their hands on, eagerly urged on by the ever enthralling voice of their new figurehead, Violet. However, upon realizing that maybe a angry mob breaking into this Fort Laura-infested facade was probably a bad decision, Violet has stepped outside, rerouted the mob, and started to drag them away. As we return, we find Subil, Jules, Kylan, and Sam stood at the front of the building, nails and boards in hand, trying to rapidly board up the broken window. As we jump back in, we find the three of them stood there. Kylan becoming greatly aware that in the few small minutes between them going deeper into the building and now standing on the outside, that those roots have already reached the window and are already creeping their way out into the street. And I hand it back to you.
Stepping out and looking at that, Kylan's gonna be like, have you tried fire?
Yes, we did. No, it didn't. We can try it again. I will try anything. Burn the place to the ground, anything.
If it's anything like a real plant, which I don't really have a lot of hope for at this point, if we can burn it back, at least into the inn and then board it up, that would be great. But if fire doesn't kill it, there's going to be a problem now or later.
But I don't want to overthink this, which is, kind of all I ever do. But if fire doesn't work, we are literally creating a beacon for more people to come here. So it's kind of it has to work, or we're causing very many more problems for ourselves. But I don't have an alternative right now. So fire?
Yeah, well, containment. So if we don't make a massive fire to start out, we could see if it reacts to the branches. If we could just get it back in and contain it, from there, we can decide a more permanent solution. Also, this is a smuggler's place, so we don't know what might blow up if we try to set the whole place on fire.
I mean, if they're worth their salt, they'll probably have some sort of liquor in there.
And or gunpowder.
I mean, Yeah, one's less fun than the other. Says,
But they both explode.
tips the empty bottle out.
They both explode in different ways.
Mm.
All right, so let's not go big right now. Let's get a torch and see if we can. And if that doesn't work, let's see what else we can do.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Anyone got any matches?
Probably do. Let me look at my. Well, I'm not gonna have matches, but I might have something. It's just in character is probably just sorting through their little bag. Out of character, I'm looking for my items.
And Sybil's as you're shuffling through, Sybil's just going to look and go, whatever you do, Molotov cocktails are off the table. Okay. And he's going to
Sounds
turn
good.
back
Yeah,
and carry on looking for some kind of small stick that can function as some kind of improvised torch with control.
It doesn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm quite happy to say that regardless of any any kind of sheets, matches are a fairly easy thing to be carrying on your person. If you don't have them, Jules will.
Fair enough. I did not write that down, so my next question was, can I go through the main room and find matches? So I'll say Jules had them. That'd be great.
That's absolutely fine. As you kind of fish through, Jules kind of opens the kind of little apron she wears on the front of her skirt and just flicks through a little bit of it, pulls out a couple of old, what look to be the corks of wine bottles, she pulls out a penknife and just slides that back in her in the pocket, and then pulls out a little pack of matches. There you go.
All right, thank you. That'll work.
No trouble.
Just kind of, it's just mostly just letting Jules be at this moment. But it's like, thank you, and okay, let's light this up, light that up. Make sure it's a long stick. If you're right about this, we don't want them reaching for us while we're trying to burn them away.
Also true. Be very careful.
It doesn't take you long to find something, Subil. There's a smashed up woodworker's store right next to you. Pieces of wood aren't hard to come by.
A flammable store as well. Coincidentally, very, very much next to the place we're about to set on fire.
Keep in mind that the next two buildings, in fact, there are 3 buildings in very close vicinity to this one. They're stoneworks buildings with tiled roofs, so fire will take more to spread, but probably would if given enough fuel or explosives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll take this easy. Right, let's see what happens, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. Sybil says as he grabs the stick and starts wrapping some kind of cloth around it, and finding any kind of fuel nearby, and then looking for the.
As you're wrapping the cloth around, Jules just kind of reaches back into her pot, into a little pouch at the front, and pulls out a small hip flask and just douses it.
Okay,
You better make this worth the loss.
Don't worry, we'll go to a bar, or I'll find. We'll sort you out later, Jules.
If we get out of here, all right, I think we're all gonna need a drink or 10. Shall we?
Oh, I'm way ahead of you there, Dan.
No.
Sybil's
With
going to
that-
grab the matches.
The torch goes up.
And he's going to just edge closer. Can we see any vines or mycelium or organic matter coming from the doors or the windows, anywhere that we've just come from, anywhere like that? Is it significantly spread, or is it still contained inside the building?
As you kind of look over at the window, you get a better feeling for the situation. For the first time for yourself, Subil, you can see directly into the building and down that long gantry that drops away into the rest. It's like the Hoover.
I don't want to talk about it. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Definitely a stick.
As I say, yeah. The gantry way continues along, and just lining its entirety, you can see this endless morass of vines and bioorganic matter, redistributed. Now that you're kind of looking at it more intently rather than taking in this wide checker-point glance that Kylan had, you're seeing that much of the lattice work of the mycelium that runs along the wall and even now creeps up over into the sunlight through that broken window is oddly fleshy in origin. Perhaps less fungal matter as redistributed body parts.
God.
The writhing mass is oddly intestinal in its makeup. You can see slightly leaking fluids dribbling along the sides of the windowsill. Further down, you can see these large, kind of purplish sheets, which immediately you thought to be flowers, are simply spread skin.
Kylan, I think I found the dude's stomach.
Yeah, I think there's a few stomachs. Oh, that's disgusting. Burning.
It's dripping. It's dripping. Okay. I was gonna edge slowly towards that, sort of trying to carefully move the flaming torch he's got in his hand towards, just to wait for a reaction. Obviously, knowing usually it reaches out towards things, I'm seeing if it does something similar or does something opposite.
You reach closer, keeping the torch as far from your body as you physically can. As you do, that intestinal mass that rests on the windowsill, you watch as bits of actual mycelium poke out and break through the skin and start twisting into the air, small budding, popping colours of purple running along the stalks as they come out into the light. As you get closer and closer, it doesn't react to the fire. It doesn't react to the stick. It just continues to spread, and very slowly, it's still there. The fire doesn't seem to affect it. If anything, as it starts to kind of, you see bits of the flame, not so much dripping off, slowing from it, as the torch loses energy and it starts to devour its own fuel, dripping onto the flesh, and just...
Yep, no, that's not working.
It's not working. It's not working. It's not working.
Step back.
Yep.
We'll recess. Salt.
Okay.
Does anyone have salt? Maybe it's
Salt?
like a slug.
Okay.
Can I do an alchemy check? See if I can recall anything that might combat fungi / living being / plant growth?
You certainly can. We'll call it difficulty 10, he says,
Okay.
plucking a number out of the air.
Brilliant. Where is my skill? There it is. It's not great, but it's not bad. And let me flip. Oh, that's a 14 of tomes.
Very nice. Acid. Any form of acidic material. Even citric acid would work to a degree. It wouldn't stop it or cause it to go back, but it would slow it. Anything that would be an antithesis to growth, basically.
Okay. So Kylan's like, yeah, salt. Does anyone wait? Acid. We need acid. Any kind of acid. Natural-based acid, non-natural. I have things I need to pick up in here. Maybe they also have acid. Although it wouldn't be in the main. Shit. And it's just like, all right, I'm gonna look in here. Does anyone else have acid? Just look through your stuff. Acid. And it's just gonna walk back in.
You walk back over to the door and just swing it open as you wander inside. As you step in, Kylan, can I ask what your intellect is?
Yes, it is. 1.
That's enough. Anything over a 0 is what I wanted. As you step in through the front door, you just quickly run through your head where you may be able to find what you're after. And it also then clicks a little bit that this leads onto a dock. And the rear door isn't the door, it's just a wide open gantry-way, which means that there is a distinct exit to this building that you cannot barricade.
Yeah.
And as that thought clicks into your mind, I'm going to ask everyone, excuse me, or more precisely, I'm going to ask Danny to reshuffle the deck, and everyone draw another card. And we are going to flip deeper into the streets of Dis, as Violet leads her merry band of revolutionaries further away from the cobblers. Coopers, words. Coopers, that's the word I'm looking for. Not shoemakers, barrel makers.
That would be really funny. No, it wouldn't be funny, it'd be weird. Oh well. But, yes, hold on, let me find my map of this, even though I don't actually think I know where I am on it, but still.
So good. You walk kind of further away from the Coopers. At the moment, you were, if you're looking at the map, kind of down by the H at the bottom of it in the pit. You're now just walking further toward kind of up the main road towards Cheese Street.
Okay.
It'd be interesting if anyone ever finds out why it's called that. It's not
Yes,
just
I
they
see.
make lots of cheese.
I see where I am now. I have it. Cool.
You continue to march along the way, shouting the revolutionary slogans as you go, which you could feel free to start coming up with whatever takes your fancy. You are so in command of these people that anything you shout is probably likely to be followed within specific reason. Around you, people are kind of starting to either step away to give your merry little band space to move as you move through the streets. As I said, the pit is a very narrowly built area that's had constant redevelopment all over itself. Every building you pass has several layers to it, akin to a shanty town built out of brick, rock, and stone. No two parts of it look the same, and it is horrendously overpopulated. The scents and smells of excess life are rampant here. You walk past one building where you can see a single door open, no less than 8 people watching you from it. Okay. Slightly down the road, a horde, being the only way you can describe them, of children play in a small open space with a beaten up old ball. The dust on the ground from the soot from the nearby factories still spreading upon the ground there, covering them. It is so different from what you've known up until this point. Open roads, forest houses, living in a caravan in the open air. Here, there isn't that. There is no open air. Everything you taste has this metallic aftertaste. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
And I imagine your kind of angry, rage-induced state, a singular thought could come to mind, which is people should not live like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said that she's basically just shouting whatever, I feel like at this point she'll probably start shouting and be like, like something like we'll no longer be suffocated or something, because I think she's starting to feel extremely suffocated, because like you said, she's not used to cities, at least not to this capacity, so she is definitely feeling something like that. But she'll shout that and hopefully they'll think it means something a bit different than what she means it to be.
You chant it, and very shortly thereafter it starts to be picked up and rapidly through the streets, spreading from your position. It hits windows. People begin to shout alongside. Can you make me another leadership check, please?
Yes, I can.
Difficulty, we'll stick with our 12. It was a good number.
Okay. That is a 3 with my 4. I'm not going to be able, even if I cheat it, I'm not going to be able to get a 12, but I can at least get it to a 10, which is going to be a bit better than the 7 I was going to originally get.
Dependent on how hard you want to push for this one, I will point over towards the little 11 still sat in the corner.
No, I think this is something I'm comfortable with, potentially having not passed. You've given me eyes.
This is one of those rare opportunities I can say, are you sure you want to fail this check?
That is true. Ah, fuck it, I'll take the 11. Sorry, yeah, taking the 11 and being selfish.
Discard any other card from your hand, I believe, in that case.
Yeah, that one can go. Bye-bye.
You... Ooh.
Yes, no, sorry, that is correct.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's good. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be answering.
Yeah. It's all good, don't worry.
11 is gone, and this is probably a very good time to use it.
Okay.
So I don't
cool.
think it's selfish at all. Please don't
If it
die
does,
on the same day 2 years in a row.
That would be, I mean, it'd be fitting for me. I won't be mad at it. But cool. Yeah. In that case, I will use the 11 because I wasn't. Yeah. This is yeah.
Absolutely fine. Your shout is picked up. You start just walking, saying anything that comes to mind just to keep the crowd moving, keep them away from whatever it is that's lurking in that building. And then the more and more and more of the city you see, the more the words are emboldened in your own chest and brought out with this ritualistic fervor passion, to the point that as you start to shout the words, we will no longer be suffocated. It is picked up. Across the city, or at the very least across the pits, a chant builds slowly, quietly in the back streets, before spreading into the buildings around it, and then out into the open spaces that occasionally dot it. And as you march, it starts to overtake you. You reach corners and T-junctions where people are already stood, having heard the call, and rapidly the words spread. We will no longer be suffocated. We will be free. No more. We will no longer be suffocated. We will be free. And it goes and goes and goes. Increase your leadership by 1.
Oh, fuck yeah. Thank you. I have to do random PDF stuff with that, but I will make a note of that.
That's fine. And you feel it. You feel part of whatever is happening right now. This movement you've only discovered less than an hour ago is already being shaped by your words. That is the distinct feeling you're getting. And as you round up towards a large open space, up towards the northern corner of the pits, you even see a few trees that have been very severely tended to, cared for and propagated in the middle of this desolate industrial nightmare. You see the bridge that leads deeper into the smoke bowl and towards Kindbourne Estate. And as you get there, you can see the blue-coated figures of the Protectorate force, officers of the law marching down, at least 4 abreast, carrying small wooden shields and large batons. Immediately, their shouts coming out towards you as you realize that there are at least 4 or 5 deep.
Okay, that's fine.
Disperse immediately.
Just gonna keep telling my band of merry men. I'm now Robin Hood, apparently. We're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep doing the chant. And in my mind, I feel like it's turning into a song. It'll turn into a song, but like it's definitely something that's got a bit of rhythm to it. And yeah, we're gonna keep going, and I might start to unclap something on the violin because hey, I could turn this into a cool song. You never know. I could join us all with music. But yeah, we're going to keep going.
You keep shouting, you rile up the crowd, and the Protectorate cross the bridge, starting to spread out to the point where 2 distinct lines form. on the outskirts of the pit, the blue line of the Protectorate in place, backed by what appears to be the black-suited apparel warden behind them, slowly kind of spreading out to surround you. Your mass of soot-covered men, women, and disheveled, angry people hold against them. You're not entirely sure who it is that throws the first stone.
But a stone's been thrown.
But a stone is thrown.
Okay.
It rockets through the air with years and years of hatred and anger behind it, and crashes into the shields of one of the Protectorates, shattering it to pieces and sending them dashed against the ground. From that moment, it's as if this tense situation just snaps. With a roar on either side, on both, perhaps, the charge begins. Are you in that charge?
No, I am not. I think what Violet's going to do is when she's kind of clocked that this is about to go massively way more than she thought it's going to be. When it escalated to this point, she's going to kind of try to kind of get to a kind of a side of it if she can. Like, let the group kind of move forward a bit, then try to get to a side. And then, because let's not press the button, but because I'm interested and I think it'd be really fun, like I said earlier, because I think this chance basically started to get rhythm. Every good rebellion needs a song, so Violet, in the only thing she probably knows how to do at this point, is going to bring out her violin and just give this fight music. It's just going to give it like an epic boss battle soundtrack. Because if she fights, she's going to die, and I don't want to celebrate 2 deaths today. Thank you very much.
Well,
as much as you want me to, Ben. It could still happen, but I'm going to try to get out of it, because Violet's not a character for fighting.
You scrabble away from the suddenly onrushing melee, darting off to the side and just trying to find anything to clamber up onto to give yourself kind of some elevation. It doesn't take you too long to pick yourself up. As you can see, the line of Protectorate just taking the impact of the riotous masses and immediately crashing back into it. You see you can see bludgeoning weapons landing on arms and legs, looking to incapacitate rather than anything else. You can see not the same courtesy being held by the riots, as people grab whatever they can to just put down the Protectorate as quickly as physically possible. There is no thought to the action anymore, simply emotion and anger. You stand up, reach down, unclasp the case of your violin, and swing it open, finding it waiting for you. Already pitted and scarred from the damage inflicted on it earlier. And with that one obsidian string already slightly shaking, as if it can sense the tension, or correction, the break and the violence in the air, waiting to be used.
Yeah, she's just going to start, she's going to pick up the violin, pick up the bow, and just start playing, and...
You pick it up?
Yep.
Take the bow to it, and as you move to play the first note, we'll return across this over to Kylan.
I'm so stressed out. Not even about the, I don't know, zombie shit that's happening here. What about revolutionary Violet over there?
Guys, point out she's having the time of her life. She's fine.
Devil went down to Georgia while a riot ensues. So yeah, Kylan would like to be searching that main room in the thin hopes that the package they were hoping to obtain is there, and you know, if they're really lucky, which they don't expect to be, acid. So...
So you step in. So just to clarify, sorry, one more time. There's my audio cut out a little bit. I'm really sorry.
No
I
worries.
heard. Look for the note. Did you mean to go deeper into the warehouse?
Not
I
at
apologize.
the moment. So at the
Mhm.
present, the plan in Kylan's mind at the moment,
Mhm.
as the fire didn't work, is search the main
Mhm.
room that only has the one dead body.
Perfect. I do apologize.
No worries for the package, for acid,
Mhm.
for for anything relevant. They're also. So the thing that they're hoping, so their thing that they think is most likely for them to find, but still probably
Mhm.
not likely in the main room, is the package. The second thing that they're hoping, but they're like, oh, probably not, is acid. The third
Mhm.
thing is the recipe for the contents of the package. And they are just they're just looking for things right now. If that doesn't work, and they've kept in their mind the big open door, the big open dock, and they are going to deliver that information shortly, but right now they're just trying to find acid, package, anything to make this not a complete wash.
Yeah.
So
you dive into that first room and start just rampaging through it, staggering out everything you can, the hopes that you can find something of use.
yeah, they're not being delicate, they're just yeeting things all over. Just like, nope, not acid, not the package, like it is a disaster in there.
You turn the room into a flurry of chaos, pulling bits and pieces out in every direction and sending manifest notes and small kind of knickknacks that were probably kept on the desk for, sentimental reasons. They can go against the wall. No one cares about them anymore.
The person who was sentimental about it is probably dead. It's fine.
I mean, you assume so. They're still shaking slightly on the floor. As you continue just to tear your way through that room, you come to the end, check that last drawer, and find nothing. Nothing of use. There is, however, a small hope that you find a notebook. Or more precisely, you can see a notebook clasped still in the hand of the corpse.
Anyone who's anywhere near the door just hears Kylan go, fuck! Which I think that's our F-bomb for the but they've been relatively composed at this point, but they just swear, and I think they try to find something long like a broom handle, and they're just trying to knock it out of the hand of this one.
There's a little ruler that may have been used to kind of sketch out things. You just grab that and just...
That's exactly what's happening. They're like, get out of the fuck.
Maybe Jesus Christ. Let's say melee weapons. Yeah, that seems appropriate.
Okay, melee attack.
We'll call it difficulty 4. It's a non-moving hand.
Okay, we should. I'm not gonna say anything until I flip. Actually, that's an 8.
It takes you a couple of blows. The first one, you don't knock it loose, but you do leave an impact in the hand, which quite literally just caves from the impact of the ruler.
It probably just looks from the outside like Kylan is just beating the crap out of this body for no discernible reason.
I mean, to anyone looking, yeah, 100%. Especially seeing as they can't see past the desk. All they can see is Kylan's form as they repeatedly slam a ruler down into what you know to be a corpse lying on the other side. The second blow goes through the hand, separating out, and realize that there's very little in there other than the bone and air. The entire musculature structure has been taken. It's just gone.
They're briefly highly disgusted by this. I don't I don't know if you need me to make a horror duel, but they definitely probably tag a little.
It's fine for this moment. I'm believing the rage. It's just taking over anything else right now.
Adrenaline rush. They're just like, hit the notebook. Oh god, the hand's in half. Like
the hand then shatters. Whatever was holding the bone together just goes, and the body just lolls to one side. The notebook slaps to the ground with a wet thud. And as it hits, the arm sprawls, and slowly just kind of leaking out of the tattered mass, you can see these thin white roots starting to drip out, lolling in place.
Knock the book away from it as quickly as possible.
Just slide the book away, and you
with the ruler.
Yeah, that was the guess. Yeah. You slide that one away, and again, overtly aware that that poppy is still following you.
Kylan flips the poppy off.
Fair.
And is gonna probably at first, just because they're not 100% sure how all of this weird mycelium zombie nonsense is working, is gonna try and like flip open the book page by page with that ruler or with something else so that they don't have to touch it. I will flip if you need me to.
No, it's fine. What's your grace?
My grace is 2.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely fine. You take the ruler and just flip the cover open. And as tends to be the case with any form of notebook, you realize just with the first couple of pages, it gives you a good introduction to what the book is representing. And it seems to be tracking the comings and goings of guests. Less an official logbook and more whoever it was at the front desk seems to be noting down who's coming in, why they think they're there, what they're looking for, and when they've left. It seems more like a spotter's notebook than anyone interested in being official.
Gotcha.
You flick kind of to the last couple of pages, or at least where the notes stop being made, and then go back on yourself. You come to the point where you think you're looking at maybe the day, possibly a day before the last note is taken, and you read a few fairly distinct phrases. The first, so that's double checking. The first reads, Journeyman Alvarez has arrived and packaged Kylan's formula below. It's been put in a lockbox in Warehouse 2 on the lower floor. Alvarez has the key and will be staying with us for the next few days. We've made him up a room in the adjoining space.
Hey. Kylan just goes, oh.
There is another page if you want to flip it over and read that as well.
They are, because they're also curious if they can, without too much time being elapsed, if they can draw any correlation to the most recent comings and goings versus what's just happened here. So having the information they need about their package, they're like, okay, what the hell happened here? And it's just flipping out, yeah.
You flip over to the next page and it repeats again. Alvarez has also expressed interest in helping to fund the workers' union. He's packaging up a series of elixirs for Olivia Steele. We're going to put this with the rest of her supplies to be taken out to the Dust Bowl, to the distillery. More precisely, Dis Whiskey Distillery.
It's whiskey.
It then continues on to the next page.
I think Kylan has that little notebook that they had before, and they've pulled it out and they're scribbling down notes because they're aware that they're not necessarily going to retain all of this.
That's absolutely fine. You kind of scribble along as you the book is now just open. You even get to a point where the mycelium continues to creep along towards you and the book. If you want to leave it on the floor, it's actively kind of starting to cover it. It's got a positive and a negative. It's actually holding the book open for you now, which is quite nice. But it is rapidly taking it.
I think the goal, whether or not it works, so they may end up leaving it too long. I'll acknowledge that. But the goal is to read the last page and kick it back toward, well, not kick it, but like baseball bat it back toward the woman.
Easily done. You take down your notes on the last page just as you see them being covered. Krail has come home. He's arrived without his package, which has upset the boss. He seems angry, upset, looking for someone. He keeps talking about gardeners when he comes in, but we're not entirely sure what he's going on about. Curiously, he's asked for mulch. We've sent out one of the boys into the city to see what they can pick up. Krell was always a bit of an arrogant bastard, but, you know, he's one of us. We'll do what we can for him.
Dang, and this is comings, not goings in this journal. Okay, so I don't
Correct.
know where he's come from. Okay, with that, they knock it back toward the woman so that hopefully the trail of nasty innards does not continue to spread out.
As you hit it, you actually see the poppy flick to follow the movement. And immediately the mycelium, again, very slowly twists to follow that instead.
Gross. Kylan just kind of stands up and, like, straightens himself out, tucks it back in the pocket, and walks out. Well, we have a few problems. The primary problem being that even if we... And it just kind of, like, points to the window that we were hoping to board up.
Full flowers have bloomed now.
There's still the dock.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need a lot of acid, I think. Or this entire town might be botanical soon.
I may have an idea on that, but I don't know enough about the town to really know if it's viable. Bear with me, okay? Now, I don't know anything about alchemy whatsoever. It's always gone way over my head. But I did hear somewhere when I was growing up, I grew up in some cities, nothing like this, but sometimes I think they used acid to dye clothes. We're in the pits, and there may be some dyes nearby. That's
acid.
the only place I can think that we could find enough acid to deal with.
It's a really good idea. Can I do a check to see if I could build on this knowledge in any way?
Yeah, of course. It's actually going to be quite easy information for you to peel apart. So we'll call it 47, just alchemistry.
That's a 12 of masks.
You pull that information out of your head immediately. Alchemists in this are everywhere. This is a city of industry, and alchemists are attracted to that. There's constant new investors trying to push new research in any direction they can, anything to give themselves a leg up on competition. So the likelihood of finding an alchemist or a workshop or anything along those lines is the same as just throwing a stone in any particular direction. They are less common in the pits. Alchemy is a fairly well-paying profession and tends to attract, as I say, wealthy benefactors. So if you're going to find them anywhere, it will be towards Sunrise Way, the kind of noble sector. You may find a few set up around the Kindborn estate. You could even find some towards kind of Downwind or Barber's Stair. You have options. It all depends on how much you want, how far you're willing to travel.
I think Kylan's going to go, yes, and they'll need someone to supply them with that. Alchemists. There's got to be alchemists here. Let's find the nearest one we can and go from there. I mean, urgency seems... Yeah, there's some urgency here.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe maybe they'll have enough, or maybe we can contact a couple of people. We just need to convince them that it's do or die, and maybe that they can raid whatever's left of the storehouse if anything survives.
Oh god, I really hope nothing survives. Okay, well, let's
I hope
just...
a few things survive, but not that.
Okay.
I have a package to pick up. I have a job to do. Fine. Anyway.
Okay. Well, where's the nearest alchemist? I don't know the city at all.
I know what an alchemist usually looks like. Let's start walking.
Let's go. Walk and talk.
Is there any particular direction you want to go?
So we're in the pits. You said there might be some downwind, and you said like Sunrise Way and all that. What about the smoke ball? I'm just looking for whatever is literally the closest. I think is what Kylan is going to do. Is like they're not going to head away where there wouldn't feasibly be alchemists, because that would just waste time. But they're going to head, the shortest distance toward where they think the first one might be.
In the direction of alchemist.
Yes.
Yeah. It depends how much... Okay, so the big question really is, you can definitely find one. Alchemists are, if nothing else, and you, even through kind of the morass of memory you do know this to be true through your interactions with them recently, they're not a charitable bunch. And everything has a price. Their work is expensive. So the different areas are going to attract different affluence to them. Sunrise Way is going to be incredibly pricey. The Smoke Bowl, you're probably going to end up with people who are, on their last legs trying to make it work. The same is probably true for Downwind. It's a bit more of a rural community. So are you looking for someone down on their luck, cheap, up in the high rises, or kind of somewhere in the middle?
We're gonna, I think, unless you have any ideas, I'm thinking if we start up through Smoke Bowl towards Sunrise Way.
Here's what Sybil's thinking, and
Okay.
Sybil will be definitely thinking out loud while walking. Sybil's thinking, okay, right. So Kylan, as far as I know, alchemists, they're not just going to give us any acid. That's kind of fair. So here's what I'm thinking.
But what if it's going to kill them?
Well, it's not. They're very, unless they learn something or get something, I don't think they're going to be interested. That's just how the industry works, right? But here's what I'm thinking. They have to supply that acid from somewhere. Presumably, we're in an industrial town. The supply must come from somewhere here. And I would say the pits would be either somewhere they would manufacture or at least keep acid. And so if we can somehow find where these alchemists get the acid from, that might be a lot easier to get hold of than from the alchemists themselves. And we'd probably get more of it. And I think I can talk my way into a situation with someone who's making acid rather than someone that wants acid bought and has bought it and will not be willing to part with it. Does that make sense?
So, yeah, actually, an incredible amount of sense. What if we find our first alchemist and we offer to buy or trade information on their supplier?
I might just be able to talk them into it. I don't know. I'm
give
quite
it a shot. I mean,
talky.
again,
Let's just find someone. Yeah.
I can maybe elucidate the fact that it's that or die. So
Let's keep that as a last resort. I feel like
I'm not threatening them myself. I'm telling them.
Yeah.
That they're going to die.
From experience, it's quite difficult to convince someone without actually threatening them. But
yeah, right.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I'll let you have the first go, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's just see how it goes. In which case, the nearest alchemist will know the biggest supplier in the city. They'll know everyone. So let's just find the closest alchemist possible.
Good. Yeah. I guess we'll head north to Smoke Bowl. See if we can just grab whoever the first alchemist we find.
Whichever one.
We're not picky.
You'll do. You make your way up through the pits quite rapidly, moving at speed. You've got Sam just kind of trying to keep pace with you, and Jules gives up about halfway. Every other step she takes in a jog leaves her kind of almost retching over. She's like, "You go on. I'll catch up with you. I'm just gonna work through some
Just keep an eye on the
And
mice
she just-
still, and when you're done,
Please
Yeah.
don't touch it. Please don't touch it, Jules. Just keep drinking. Just don't touch it.
Don't, well, anyway.
You leave your fallen comrade behind as she begins to redecorate an alleyway.
Better out than in.
As you keep pushing up towards kind of the bridge out of the pits and into the smoke bowl proper, you become aware of a very close building sound, a repeated chant on the air of "We will no longer be suffocated," and it just pulsates through the city like a heartbeat, followed and broken fairly rapidly by the sound of shouting and screaming. As you kind of come up towards that bridge, you break into this slightly more open square and see a crowd of people crashing against a blue line of Protectorate officers blocking the bridge into the smoke bowl. As violence just erupts. And there, right there, to the side of it, stood as high as they can, overlooking the crowd, you see Violet holding her violin, just about to push the first note through.
I think Kylan's gonna look at Subil and go, is she gonna be angry if we extract her again?
She's
Can
a
I just
musician
add-
and about to play, so yeah.
Can I just add, she's got a massive, like a massive grin on her face. She is living her life right now. She's in danger and she's having fun.
Kylan just goes, she's terrifying.
She really is. I've known her for 2 days, and shivers, man.
Downwind then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just about face.
Yeah.
They're gonna leave her to it. And
Are you
Kylan's just
gonna-
like
Mhm.
shaking their head and just like, okay, this is fine.
You kind of turn to leave as she pushes through the first note. Holly,
Yeah.
can you flip me a music check? And for no reason specifically, I really, really need to know the suit.
Oh God. Okay, I'm about to die. Whoop. Get them on 2 characters. Where's my character sheet? There it is. Okay, +4 to music. So I flipped a 5 of masks for a total of 10, but it was a 5 of masks.
Oh, mask was it? Brilliant.
Yes. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that voice. I'm dead. I'm dead. Bye, guys. I'm dead.
You hit your first string, and there is a screech of music as the bow runs along the first, second, third, ting, ding, ding, and eventually hits the obsidian string. A moment passes just between you hitting it and not. Subil,
Oh no.
next to Kylan, you laugh bitterly and cruelly.
Kylan is briefly like, and then just goes, you again.
The note hits, and there is a violent screech that bursts out from it. It starts as a distant whine and builds to an ear-splitting din. The moment your bow touches the string, you are enraptured by it, Violet. The bow rides along and pulls back, and almost through its own momentum, you continue to play. The song comes fluidly, easily, as if writing itself with every movement. And it is beautiful.
That's what
To
we like to
you?
hear. Oh, to me.
This is the music of the spheres itself, a sound that transcends meaning and overwhelms the senses in this overwhelming, ecstatic feeling. To everyone else, there is only pain. The note drives its way like a needle through your eardrums. Kylan, Subil, correction, Kylan, Sam, everyone in that riot takes 2 damage
Oh!
as the sound screeches outwards. You hear a shattering of windows nearby as they just snap and break into 1,000 pieces around you. And as you continue to play, caught in the movement of your own song, Subil simply dances in joy. His body cavorting and spinning, and Kylan, from your position, as you drop and grip your ears, feeling blood starting to leak from your eardrums, you watch as Sybil's form shifts and twists, as if multiple arms are popping happily from his back, as if different facial features just stretch across his own, and a cruel, vicious smile runs around the edge of his face, following the line of the obsidian stones and just breaking into millions of jagged little teeth.
How far in yards am I from Violet at this moment?
15.
I understand I'm in incredible pain, so I imagine I'll have to probably make some flips to achieve this, but I would like to get within 10, please.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna need a few checks.
Okay. I am
And you
very lucky because Wastrel allows me to drop 2 cards instead of 1 when we reshuffle the deck, so I might make it. I might.
we can only hope.
Oh my. Okay, what do you want me to flip to see if I can move?
Can you make me an athletics check, please? We're gonna start this because of the pain and the sudden onset of it at difficulty 14.
Jeez. Okay. That's gonna be difficult because I will honestly say that with the cards that I have in my hand, I can only achieve 12. So if I don't flip something very good, I'm effed. Now I flipped to 13. The 13. So that's a 15 total.
Amazing. You crawl. You drop to literally to your belly and start dragging yourself along, gripping the cobblestones and pulling forwards. As you do, the music continues to wash over you, and you look up and see Violet in place, still playing. Her eyes are closed, her mouth is agape and smiling. And just around her, you can see frost building up on her small plinth. In the crowds, people are doubling over and screaming, several of which are gripping their ears. Some are taking to literally grabbing whatever happens to be at hand and trying to gouge their own eardrums out.
Love that.
And she just
for
doesn't
all
see
of
it.
us. Ooh, okay.
You crawl just within distance, enough that you can feel the pull towards her. Before you get to do anything, Violet.
Hold on, I'm writing a message.
Oh god, why?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The music continues, Violet. It spills from you with dramatic ease, and you're just so thankful for this gift.
I am playing the
magical.
best song of my life.
You can
You're
see
so mad at
people
me.
crying
Mad at myself.
joy below you. Can you make me a centering check, please, at difficulty 12?
Oh no, I don't know if I've got that. I don't. I do have counterspelling and prestidigitation, however you say that word. Will either of those help? If not, that's fine.
That's a no from me.
No,
Resilience.
that's cool.
Centering's
Resilience is what you want.
Resilience. Oh no. I don't want to. It's not gonna go well then. What's my target again?
12.
Is that 13? 13 minus the one I have in resilience, that's a 12 exactly.
You continue to play, you feel the song coming, but just something doesn't feel right. There's something through the laughter, something through the crying, through joy, and your eyes just, you force them to open, and you look down at your violin, you see your arm playing, and you can feel another hand wrapped around yours, something pushing you along to play, and you take in everything you can see. You see the crowds of people laid out in front of you, screaming and wailing and clawing at their own ears just to shut it out, to keep anything away. You drag your attention across to the bow. You can see Kylan pulling themselves across the cobblestones. You can almost feel the power rushing through their body as they reach out towards you. And behind them, you can see him. You can see the thing that you saw on the boats that you felt speak to you in the place in between, dancing behind Subil and wielding him like a puppet as you continue to play his song.
I want to try to drop him this, but...
You just let go of the bow. It clatters off of the strings, bounces, and hits the top of the stage before just slinging, kind of careening through the air and crashing to the ground. As you do, Subil stops. His entire demeanor shifts, and his eyes fall upon you. His gaze is filled with hate. And as you lock eyes with him, Kylan, can you perform your flip for me, please?
Yep. That would definitely still happen, I think. So that is okay, that's crow, so that's not gonna go off, so I am gonna cheat it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately I've wasted an 11 of crows because I need masks, but I happen to have that's a rent. I happen to have an 8 of masks here, and with my 2 modifier, that comes to 10.
Perfect. It's at that moment you just feel the air around you pressurize Violet, and a sudden chill rush over your body as Kylan just drags you out of place. And where are you putting her?
Next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not by, not Subil at the moment. I put Violet right next to them, and they're going to be trying to stand at this point.
At this point, the music has stopped and the pain has stopped. There is still this ear-splitting headache running through you, as if you feel like literally the bone of your skull was beginning to fracture. Your hands are freezing, just due to the level of energy that was rolling through the area at that time. And you look up and you see Violet stood there, just aghast, holding her bow, holding her violin even. And as you both look over, Subil, Sam's hand just rests on on yours, and you feel your body just returning to you for a few moments. You remember nothing. You remembered walking into the space, and there is nothing in between that moment and this moment.
Violet, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We
I didn't
all
do that,
need
I swear.
I don't care right now. We all need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think we do.
Come on. Sam? Subil? And that's kind of a questioning, like, is it you?
I'm avoiding eye contact with Subil.
Take Sam's
Sam.
hand. We gotta go.
Sam is bleeding from both nostrils, his ears, and one of his eyes. He looks exhausted. And he isn't so much just touching Sybil's hand as gripping it, as you can see the strength just leached from his body. Already behind you, the crowds, the Protectorate are starting to pick themselves up, and calls are going out. You can hear a couple of voices murmuring, it must be a channeler. There's an insurgent somewhere.
Now.
Find them! Find them!
And he's gonna kind of like put a hand on Sam's back, partially to support him and partially to be like, and just start grab Violet by the wrist or hand or whatever she allows, and just start pushing, pulling, anything to get them out of this vicinity, because nothing's gonna be sorted in an angry mom.
Mm-hmm. You lead the group away, Kylan, just pulling them into an alleyway and away from just that can stay there, as you disappear back into the darkness of the pits, moving your way through random alleyways, more interested in getting yourself lost, for the purposes of making sure you can't be followed. 15 or so minutes pass, and it's only when you can physically no longer run that you come to a stop. You stand in a small alleyway that runs along the exterior wall of this, leading from the pits almost down to Barber's Stair. You're actually still having kind of looped back around fairly close to the Coopers. You've heard the shouts still going around. You know that people are searching. You also build on the assumption that hopefully no one has any reason to think it's you. But as you kind of stand in that beshadowed alleyway, go back to you.
Okay. It's just trying to like catch their breath. Okay. Tell me you don't know what happened.
I swear I don't know what happened. That's never happened before.
Someone tell me what happened? Something what?
What kind of?
You were.
Oh no, you can go.
No, you're okay. I think Kylan is kind of trying to find the words there, so they kind of pause for a moment.
In that case, then Violet will kind of just hold up her violin and just be like, I'm not a fighter. I think we kind of know this, at least not to that extent. So I thought I'd play some music, you know? Everyone needs some music. And I'll kind of push the violin forward a bit and then kind of direct you to see that there is an odd-looking string.
It's still vibrating slightly. There's always a slight tone to it as you hold it in the air.
This happened on the boat. I dropped the knife you gave me, Kylan. It you can see it put a dent in the violin and it cut a string, and then after the whole whatever that thing was, what we did with not seeing anything, and yeah, the string appeared. I didn't know what it could do, and I didn't play that. That wasn't me. Something was forcing me to play what I just played, and to me it sounded amazing. But I guess to you guys it was definitely to Subil it was something different.
Was
Kylan, are you guys look? I didn't mean any of that, I swear.
I believe you.
It's okay. It really is just it.
Do you know what happened, Subil, to you?
I don't remember a thing, but the string. look, this thing, it look, it makes people do things, and if anyone knows the feeling of it making you do things, it's not always how it seems. So whatever may have happened, it's okay, Violet. Okay, just
Subil, I saw it make you dance. It was behind you. It was controlling your body when I was playing the music.
It wasn't you. It was him.
I swear down on the martyr that I saw something controlling you, and the last time I saw it was on the boat. I'm not going to play this thing again until I can figure out what it is.
We need to have someone look at the string, but just don't. No,
The bow is. I threw the bow away. I can't even play this if I wanted to. To be fair, if this didn't have so much sentimental value, I'd throw this into a fire now if I could.
Well, there's a moment where they just. I was going to say where we just paused, but I think we might have actually lost.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, he is just gone. I didn't notice that.
I thought it was just a dramatic pause, but I think it's a freeze. So half a minute there. Oh. Yeah.
Give him a moment.
While we give him that moment, it's a good time. I've got things to fill space. Yeah, so Kylan is going to turn to Sam and say, Sam, you alright?
He's breathing very heavily. I'll be okay.
Thank you for what you did.
I tried.
You didn't try, you succeeded.
He was stronger with the music.
Kylan is gonna, now speaking less quietly, turn Sam a little back to look at Subil and say, look, Sybil's here. It's okay.
Kind of, it can't quite meet Sybil's gaze. I'm sorry. I tried. I didn't want him to get you. It hurt me first. I couldn't stop it.
I think we've lost Billy again.
Yeah, unfortunately so. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, do you want to just give it a second to see if it works itself out?
Let's just give it a moment, and if not, we are hitting that time, so we'll see where we get.
Fair enough.
Do 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 do.
Absolutely beautiful.
Piranha plants. The piranha plant's a good thing to reference right now. Why not?
Oh no! Oh goodness. Yep. So what you guys have witnessed Kylan do now is a fun magic called teleport, which is prestidigitation. But they're definitely not a channeler. That's all Sam.
What we've seen Violet do is have a mental breakdown because she can no longer do the thing that she can do, because that's the only thing that she knows how to do. And now we get to see what this happens, because what's a musician if they can't play their instrument? Mental breakdowns ensue.
A different one, and I'm sure there'll be no trauma attached to that whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
What we will do is we'll do a quick close out while we wait to see what happens. The four of you, stand in the alleyway, your backs to the external wall, and breathe for a moment. I will speak for Billy as Subil steps up to Sam, leans down, and just holds him. Brings him in for a very tight hug. And the two of you can see the panic and worry and pain that puts across Sybil's face. just to feel something else on him. But as he does, there's very low, very soft sobbing coming from Sam as he just weeps into Sybil's coat. The two of you watch. Violet, the violin still clasped in your hands, that soft, endless note still hanging in the air around you. Something that you know moments before you had no control over, no power to twist or change or manipulate. But around Sam, it feels different somehow. The note is more melodious, as if the same as you felt a million times before any time you've heard music. Like there is potential somewhere in that. Kylan, as you lean back, you just rest your head on the wall for a moment, close your eyes just for a second, and you play through everything that's happened so far. You start following through your own plan, thinking where you could find what you need. And as you do, there are just flickers of images that wait for you on the other side of your eyelids, hidden deep in the darkness, of propagation, of growth. You smell blood. You can feel soil moving between your fingertips, cultivating it. The scent of the earth, and that ever-present sound, distant screaming. Something waits for you somewhere. Something familiar, and yet forgotten. And the idea clicks in your mind again, that there is something in that building for you.
Shoot.
And on that note, I've just received word from Billy saying his internet has just completely died. So, on that closing thought from Kylan, we close out for this evening and end another episode of Chalice, Twilight Roads. On a high note, one would say, and feel slightly cruel about saying. So,
Boom chum.
thank you. On that, we'll do a little loop around the room. Let's see if we can drag this out for a couple of minutes. We never know. Billy might come in and we can say goodbye to Billy properly. But until that point, CJ, who are you? Where can we find you? All that good stuff.
Hi everyone, my name's CJ. You can find me pretty much everywhere under CJ Starry. I love this game. It's so much fun, but it's type 2 fun. I'm suffering. I have no idea what Kylan is going to do going forward. So, it strikes me that, and we were talking in the chat a little, that even though Kylan would tell you they don't care about anyone, they did make Sam a promise last episode. So I think they might maybe be around for a little while.
We can only hope. See, the statement just keeps coming up. Hope is a big word.
Hope. It's a very scary word in a horror setting.
Oh yeah,
Very scary.
it's a great word. But we hope to hear from you, Holly. So far away.
Oh no. Hi, I'm Holly. You can find me on Instagram at Holly Ida Healy. I am on what was once Twitter, but is now whatever it's called, at Holly Healy 7. Sometimes I post random things on my stories. Sometimes I just repost things to do with games that I like. To quote the really infamous Riverdale, Today I have experienced the epic highs and lows. Well, not of high school football, but of a Chalice game with Ben. So it's somewhat of the same thing if you think of it that way. I'm doing a Riverdale rewatch with a bunch of friends. It's the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, that was a really, really good session, and I'm excited to see what this kind of brings, because now this actually does bring a sort of really cool, somewhat not conflict, but something to the party. So yeah, I'm excited. I am going to go cry, but at least I don't have to select more than 2 characters this time next year. So that's good.
I mean, I'll give you at least two more weeks before you need to pencil that one in. Don't you worry.
No, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, just give me like 2 more weeks, and then I can mourn again. Just don't do 2 on the same day.
I mean, that'd just be overkill, wouldn't it?
I would say that would literally be overkill. So
let's try and keep that one off the books. I promise.
we'll see.
I'll try. Try was the word I used there. I try a lot of things.
It's not about you trying, it's about me trying.
You'll be fine. You've got
Not
this.
to get them killed. Just don't run into the souls this time, it's fine.
Exactly.
It's a significant number of cards now, so I've just made a note of what cards in my control hand have been used this session.
Okay, you'll redraw next session, don't worry.
Reshuffle as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Then I don't have to make a note.
Oh!
Look at that! And
it's because I did the Riverdale quote, that's why. He came back for Riverdale.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I was really worried you'd frozen again then.
No, I won't even.
Well, here for his curtain call for the evening. As we are rounding out and saying goodbye. Billy, who have you been?
Hello, I am Billy. I am back. I am now leaving again, as we all are. I played Subil, and very briefly, Dark Subil, Evil Subil. We haven't actually had a name for him. Hey, that was a lot of maniacal laughing. I am here every 3 weeks. I will hopefully be here as Subil in 3 weeks. You can't really find me anywhere else on the internet at the moment, but as is tradition at this point, you may, if you come back next time, find out about the ongoing project that I will eventually release, which is world building related. So if you like world building, come back next time and then watch the whole stream and get to the end bit and then find out if I finally got it done. So that's the call to action. But
This definitely is that. So, thank you very much, Billy. And as per, I've been me, I've been Ben. You can find me in places as Try Again Ben, but you will never see me do anything. I work on stuff in the background. I make adventures for RPGs, which is kind of cool. Something got announced the other day that I can now talk about, which is the Acton Cthulhu starter set will be coming out. A whole 64-page adventure with maps and shit and all sorts of fancy stuff. And I did it. It was me. I wrote it. It's cool. So go and look at that. It has all of the hallmarks of stuff I do, including torture, betrayal, horrible ends, all that wonderful stuff. But
so just a game of Chalice.
At home.
But one of the people you can play as has a cat in a wall.
That
it's
makes
a cool
everything
cat.
better.
That's
Exactly. So on that note, I'm gonna tip my hat as everyone else will, and we'll say bye-bye. We'll see you next time in a week with the other party, and then back here with this party in 3 weeks. Isn't that cool? We'll see you then. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Play us out, Holly.
No, not happening.